Wyndham Primary Academy academised in 2012, and that was following quite a long pathway of underperformance for our pupils, which resulted in being in the bottom 20% of schools nationally. Following the academisation, we reviewed our whole structures in school and teacher learning and pedagogies, and recreated a brand new school, Wyndham Primary Academy. In 2014, we had our first Ofsted inspection, and we gained a grade 1 judgment of outstanding. After that, we were accredited and recognised as having Derby Research School in 2017. Our transformation really is characterised from creating a culture of excellence and ambition for all of our staff and all of our children, and of course all of our community. Really, that was underpinned by being outward facing, exploring and being professionally curious, really richly engaging in evidence-based practices and pedagogies from every layer within school.
I'm so fortunate with the work that we get to deliver on as the Research School designate to the Derby opportunity area, and now looking ahead to our wider work across the region. When we first started, the kind of remit from the EEF was to work with schools, to exemplify the evidence, to be those guardians of the research and the evidence, to support school leaders, to really empower them to make the best decisions for their settings.
I've really valued the impact of working closely with Derby Research School. The courses that they offer are relevant and really purposeful. Staff have always valued them and have come back not only with increased subject knowledge, but also it's had an impact for the children's outcomes back in school. And when you come into our school, you can see that we've been part of Derby Research School. Participation on the courses through Derby Research School have resulted in aspects of evidence-informed practice being permeated throughout the school. It informs everything that we do. And as a result of that, staff want to go and attend the courses. It's inspired them to read widely, to join knitting networks where best practice is shared, and also to look at how they can support not only children within our school, but also children and colleagues within schools beyond our own settings.
We're really lucky to work with other teaching school alliances, other MATs, all kinds of organisations to allow passionate practitioners to go beyond their own school gates and to make a difference. So this could be subject-based reviews, it could be delivering training, to do coaching, even offering things like pupil premium reviews. There are all kinds of things that we know, having delivered CPD and school-to-school support over a long while, are things that can make a real big difference. And that ultimately is what the EEF's mission is. It's to help empower school leaders, empower schools to make their best decisions around the best bets in the evidence base, and ultimately to improve teaching and learning and to improve outcomes for pupils, particularly those from most disadvantaged backgrounds, where we can really make the biggest difference. So this is the next stage for us as the Derby Research School, being able to designate and deploy evidence leaders in education, very similar to SLEs, but very much aligned with the principles of the EEF, the evidence-informed practice. We really want to exemplify, to deliver training, not just in training centres, but also within schools, and being able to kind of utilise the expertise across the school ed system is part of our next stage as the research school.
At present, I am working with Derby Research School as ELE coordinator and trainer. It's a fantastic opportunity, and I feel very privileged to be able to work with expert colleagues and specialists from across several different counties and schools in supporting them in training and being ready for the ELE role. It covers 4 sessions, and we talk about what the ELE role involves. It's a really varied opportunity. It could involve delivering on a twilight, supporting on a 3-day programme, delivering one-to-one sessions in schools, or doing wider pieces of work where you would work with a school team and support through coaching and school improvement.
Within school, we've got a range of ELEs that are signposted to make a difference with challenging the status quo and develop other children, other adults, other staff, not just in school but locally and around East Midlands as well. The work that they do to develop other practitioners is really crucial to the ever-evolving landscape of education. Our job is to be at the forefront of it, to continue to be outward-facing, to continue to make a real difference to the lives of our children.
The role of being an ELE is really important to me because knowing, using and sharing the evidence and the best practice and the most up-to-date research obviously results in quality first teaching for our children, and we know from the evidence that's really important in improving all of our children's life chances. And research really is the heart of everything we do here at Wymondham, and it helps us really to shape our pedagogical practices, thinking around what's most effective and what's going to be most impactful for our children, because we really aim to give them endless possibilities within their worlds and within their futures too. And also relating to my moral compass and what we have here at Wymondham, yes, we want to improve the life chances of our children here at Wymondham, but also reaching further than that, all of our children's life chances beyond Wymondham as well, and we feel that's really important, which is why being involved in the research school is vital for us really, so we can continue to share and disseminate that best practice to all of our children to give them all the best life chances.
I applied to become an ELE and became successful in autumn term and started my training during the spring term. My interest in research stemmed from being really deeply involved in it at Fairfield as we were starting an improvement in metacognition and self-regulation. We delved into the EF guidance quite deeply in an inset day, and just from that point onwards I was really interested in research and how that can support with school improvement. Through staff meetings we did regular study groups looking at research and really reading around lots of different aspects of school improvement, and that way of having that information in front of you and being able to pick it apart and see what will work in your setting for your children really engaged me and made me excited about using research to improve schools.
In our role as ELEs, we're encouraged to continually look out to the evidence base and look at the implications for our practice. So we work with both our own school and groups of schools in our region, and we look to support them with implementation. So we look at a whole school's guide to implementation from the EF, and we look at working with schools around identifying a specific tight area of focus. And what we want to do is support them in that, because a vision without implementation is essentially hallucination, in the words of Thomas Edison. But we know that everything works somewhere, but nothing works everywhere. And so by working with many different schools across our region, I've been fortunate enough to look at different contexts and to ensure that we achieve that vision that we set out to achieve.
Becoming an ELE has been a really collaborative process. It's been absolutely amazing because we've been able to make lots of connections with other schools and teachers and leaders across the trust and also across the country. It's been fantastic because there's always somebody's expertise you can tap into, whether that is somebody to share their practice or experiences with you, or simply to direct you to some reading. There's always somebody there that's there to lend a helping hand. Research underpins everything that we do at Wymondham. It drives our school development plan, our teaching and learning, to ensure that our children get the best possible education that they can. I'm quite early on in my ELE journey and have just gone on through the training process, which has been absolutely fantastic because I was able to implement all of those great things I was reading through the EF guidance and the books I was reading, but now I feel like I have the tools to go and support others to ensure that they are providing their children with first class education as well. Another opportunity as an ELE that I've been given is to be part of working parties. So at the moment I'm taking part in a memory working party. It's been absolutely brilliant just to discuss what is working in our school in terms of memory and actually reflecting on our school curriculum and our teaching and learning to see what we can develop further. So for example, recently we have met together as 6 practitioners speaking about retrieval practice, reading things, discussing things that work in schools, and we've actually been able to step back and take a look at how we can develop our retrieval practice further at Wymondham.
For me in my role, I'm really excited to work with like-minded professionals who are passionate about teaching and learning and are passionate about their subject area and extending that not only from in their own setting but out of their school gates to other schools and partnerships. I'm very lucky in that I get to work with ELEs that are training with us, and we get to share the EEF guidance, we get to talk about our experiences with school, our specialisms, our expertise, and it gives me an insight in how that person is able to be deployed elsewhere in another school to really improve their teaching and learning. What we do then is we build them and we look at training, we focus on giving them experiences and opportunities to work with other professionals who are also passionate about teaching and learning but may not have the expertise that we do as a team, where we look at the research, we look at the evidence and we know what works best, using our best bets to improve the system. Our system leaders are passionate about their subject areas, they're great collaborators, they're fantastic coaches, and they can work with any school system to help them improve to reach their goals.